When Bibi smashed Starr Park's office door with her bat, the sound shook the walls and echoed throughout the hallway. She angrily spit out her gum on the carpet and, looking directly into the camera of shocked fans, bellowed, "That's it, I'm done with this circus." Eyewitnesses' phones instantly lit up with notifications. None of them could have guessed that this remark would soon blow up the net and start the biggest scandal in the history of Starr Park. Bibi deftly tossed the bat into the air and caught it with one hand with a wide grin. The crowd in the Starr Park arena roared, deafeningly cheering another victory for their favorite. Everything was going perfectly: battle, triumph, fanfare, and a hefty check for a tidy sum waiting for her backstage. As she left the arena, Bibi felt on top of the world, anticipating her well-deserved reward. However, when she entered the dressing room, her smile instantly disappeared. On the table, instead of the usual thick envelope, there was a thin sheet of paper with the official Starr Park logo on it. It said that due to budget constraints, her prize money had been significantly reduced. Bibi crumpled the notice in fury and threw it on the floor. Her eyes flashed with anger, and she decided to deal with the management immediately. Irritated and determined, she headed straight for the Starr Park manager's offices. Bibi stormed into the Starr Park manager's office, dropping the crumpled notice right on the desk in front of the stunned executives. They exchanged tense glances, clearly not expecting such a reaction from their star. The managers tried to smooth things over by vaguely saying that times were changing and the company needed to invest in developing new talent. Their explanations sounded lame and evasive, only further fueling Bibi's anger. Bibi's patience finally broke. Losing her temper, she announced loudly and clearly that she was done with this shithole and left the office abruptly, slamming the door so hard that the windows shook. Bibi didn't even realize that all this time a crowd of fans had gathered at the office door and were already filming the incident on their phones. In just a few minutes, the video of her outraged exit and loud statement went viral, spreading online and sparking a flurry of discussion about the future of the Starr Park legend. Within an hour of the incident, news of Bibi's scandalous departure was all over social media. Headlines were abuzz with buzzwords and speculation that the legendary Starr Park rebel was allegedly ending her career. Thousands of fans excitedly discussed the rumors, and the number of views of the video rapidly increased, turning the conflict into the most discussed scandal of recent years. The management of Starr Park quickly realized that the hype around Bibi was a great way to raise ratings and make money from the scandal. They decided to make the most of the situation and, without asking Bibi's consent, announced that she would take part in a large-scale March Mayhem tournament. The organizers cynically advertised the event as Bibi's last tournament, deliberately stirring up public excitement and creating intrigue around the possible departure of the star. Bibi was the last to see these advertisements. She realized that she was deliberately backed into a corner by publicly forcing her into the arena, and now she will have to fight not only her rivals, but also those who are trying to use her name for their own gain. The tension at Starr Park was growing by the day as the March Mayhem tournament approached. Bibi quickly realized that this whole situation was not just an attempt to capitalize on her big name. The managers were clearly preparing the public for the arrival of a new hero, a mysterious fighter who had already been rumored online. She was going to be used as a pawn to showcase a fresh star and push her out of the spotlight. Bibi felt a prick of rage and decided she wasn't going to let herself be written off so easily. She was used to being the center of attention, to being number one, and she wasn't going to be quietly relegated to the background. Winning was no longer just a matter of reputation for her, but a matter of principle. Bibi was determined to make the tournament a personal demonstration of strength and character, an effective reminder to anyone who doubted her ability to take a punch. The March Mayhem tournament began with a loud frenzy of excitement. From the first fight, it was clear that Bibi wasn't going to simply play out the management's script. Instead of her usual strategy, she began to behave defiantly, turning every fight into a defiant display of protest. She masterfully combined agility, strength, and cunning. At the most unexpected moments, Bibi used her trademark gum, deftly taping her opponent's weapons and mechanisms, blocking their movements and infuriating even the most experienced opponents. The crowd roared with delight, cheering her every unusual and daring maneuver. Starr Park managers were nervous as they watched her provocations. They didn't like the way Bibi disrupted plans, wreaking havoc on a carefully planned tournament. But the audience loved her rebellious style and the fans continued to chant her name, turning every fight into a challenge to the management and confirming that it was Bibi who remained the true star of Starr Park. On the outside, Bibi continued to look confident and cocky, turning each new fight into a show of defiance. But behind the flamboyant bravado was an internal conflict that was eating away at her from the inside out. The closer she got to the final of the tournament, the more she felt doubt and anxiety about her future at Starr Park. Despite the support of her fans, Bibi couldn't shake the heavy feeling that she had been betrayed by those to whom she had dedicated the best years of her career. She was haunted by the thought of the mysterious new fighter that her managers were grooming to take her place. Bibi felt like a part that was going to be replaced as soon as it was no longer profitable. But even in these moments of doubt, she realized one thing: to keep the respect of herself and the fans, she couldn't let this uncertainty take over. The final battle was approaching, and Bibi knew that not only was victory at stake, but also her right to remain herself proud and unbroken. The final battle of March Mayhem was the true culmination of the confrontation between Bibi and the Starr Park management. She entered the arena with burning eyes and a determination that made her opponent involuntarily step back. From the first seconds, Bibi behaved with the utmost boldness and toughness, making the audience freeze with admiration and amazement. The fight ended in a clear and unanimous victory for Bibi. The crowd roared with excitement as they awaited the awards ceremony, but Bibi had already prepared her own script. As the managers came on stage with the magnificent trophy, hoping to appease their rebellious star, she suddenly swung her bat and violently smashed the trophy into tiny shards right in front of the astonished faces of the managers. The hall froze, watching her every move. Bibi walked right up to the nearest camera and, looking into the lens with defiant determination, uttered words that immediately became legendary online, completely burying Starr Park's plans to control her future. Her message was clear: Bibi was still the queen of the arena, and she wasn't going to be part of anyone else's cheap games. The viewers greeted Bibi's act with cheers and delight, admiring her uncompromising and daring courage. The video of her smashing the trophy instantly went viral on social media, causing a huge wave of support among fans. People started posting messages en masse, demanding that Starr Park management respect their favorite. Social media was filled with hashtags, memes, and appeals in defense of Bibi. Fans launched an online campaign demanding an end to the manipulation and openly recognizing her services to Starr Park. Under public pressure, the management found themselves in an extremely uncomfortable position. They now had to publicly recognize Bibi's importance, although in reality the managers were annoyed at how out of control the whole situation had gotten. Bibi once again felt empowered by her fans, and their support was proof to her that she was still the heart and soul of Starr Park, despite her manager's attempts to write her off. Under pressure from fans, Starr Park management officially recognized the importance of Bibi, releasing a statement emphasizing her special status and contribution to the arena's history. However, in the same statement, managers cautiously hinted that the audience would soon be treated to something completely new and amazing, intriguing the audience with a cryptic mention of an upcoming fighter. Bibi understood this hint perfectly. Despite the temporary victory and fan support, she was clearly aware that management was not going to give up on her plans. A new threat loomed on the horizon: an unknown opponent who was likely to be her successor. She felt that new challenges and conflicts were ahead of her, but there was no fear. Bibi stood firm and was ready to defend her place in the sun of Starr Park again and again, confirming to everyone, especially to herself, that the struggle had only just begun.